Point 3, bringing to market. This point takes a lot more time and energy than most of us ever think. Today with social media, things have a tendency to go viral, and I know I was a little naive in the beginning. I thought that once I just started my social media, that it would kind of just be organic and grow overnight. And as many of you know, that's not the case, especially when you're building a brand and marketing a new product and trying to educate a consumer. So start early with building your social media accounts. Make sure you have those names and brands already identified for your product, so then that way you have a cohesive message for your consumer when you start to market. You want to make sure that those social media pages are matching the name of the brand and the product that you're representing. Then with the social media, you can do all kinds of things by reaching out directly to consumers, running ads, videos, all kinds of things now that you can do on various platforms of social media. The other thing that you have to be aware of is, where are you going to sell this product? Do you see it being on an e-commerce platform? Do you see it being in small boutique stores? Do you see it being in a big box retailer? These are all things that have very different platforms and plans that you have to be aware of depending on which marketplace you're planning on selling your products. They all have their unique pros and cons, just like anything that's out there. So you want to do your part to make sure that you research each one very well and also understand how it fits into your bigger picture of your brand and your product and your marketing going forward. So a really good example of this is looking at the differences between the e-commerce platform of selling something online versus having it in a store. One of the big differences is when you have something in the store, it needs to move very quickly because you're taking up shelf space, especially if you have a big product. It takes up space. The more space it takes up, the more that it needs to cost to get the return on that investment. So for example, if you have a walker that's $70 and is taking up a 2x3 foot space, that's going to eat up a lot of the shelf space in relation to the amount of money that you're paying to be on it. Versus if you have a little box of moccasins that are $70 and are only in a box of maybe a 6x8. So those are the kinds of things that you need to be aware of if you're looking to sell on an actual shelf space in a store. You want to be very aware of your packaging and how compact you can get it in relation to your price point. Versus if you're selling on an e-commerce platform, there's a whole bunch of other things that you need to be concerned with. Of course, now you're not having a product actually on a shelf, but you need to be aware of, are you going to store it and provide the fulfillment and the shipping, or are you going to send it off to a third-party place for them to store it and deal with the shipping? And of course, the more times that you give other people work to do, there's a cost involved with that versus you doing it yourself. And so these are some other things that you need to consider as an entrepreneur starting up, as to who you need to help on your team and what you need to delegate and pay for versus what you can become an expert in and do yourself. Thanks so much for watching. That's all for today. See you next time on the Need to Know in 5.